Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes of the Week. The best thing you can do for this channel is smash the like button on this video like it's a pre-transition Ellen page, so it reaches a wider audience. And now on with the memes. Number 1, this woman wants to sleep with married men, and she wouldn't blame her husband if he had an affair. Sounds like she got caught cheating and is giving him a free pass to cheat as well. Either that or she wants to be a swinger or have an open relationship. And this is her way of asking for it. She says she used to sleep with married men. How much you want to bet that she's still sleeping with them? Also, why embarrass him out in public like this in an article? Up next, is anyone really surprised? 6 bunnies imported 43,000 kilograms of Oreos into India over the last 6 years and sold them even though they'd already expired. Scamming all the way, I see. And this is a problem. How? It's probably the healthiest thing Indians ate that day. Have you seen how dirty the street vendor food is in those YouTube videos? My thinking is that in India, the expiration date on food is just an optional thing to boot. Number 3, a study over the last 40 years has found that the hiring bias in society is against men and not women. And this is happening in over 30 countries. This is what happens when you live in the gynocentric West, where simps help women gain positions of power and authority. The only way men have been able to get ahead is to start their own businesses as freelancers or become crypto bros. Men will still out-earn women in society because we see DEI as a challenge to be overcome, and not something that we just have to accept. Moving on, many people believe that the real benefits of saving money for old age is the ability to enjoy the best moments with no worries. Does he really look like he's enjoying himself? He looks like his life has passed him by. I'm getting closer to 50 and I'm glad I traveled and had relationships in my 20s and 30s. Ate toxic food and lived my life. Luckily, I also saved some cash. Money in your old age is the most useful for alleviating suffering. It's hard to enjoy yourself, but it's still easy to feel discomfort. Number 5, is this really the look on the faces of plumbers and electricians watching AI replace everyone else who went to college? They were smiling before that while earning more money. The only thing they're probably not smiling about is their dating prospects, because the majority of women would never stoop low enough to date a blue-collar man they see as beneath them, even if he makes more money than they do. Also, they better not laugh too hard, because eventually robots will come for their jobs too. Up next, this appears to be one of India's major contributions to the AI industry. Indian workers pretending to be chatbots. It's worse than that though. Waymo, when their cars get into difficult situations, they have remote drivers, many in India, to get them unstuck. Also, back when Whole Foods had an automated store, Indian workers were watching which items people were selecting off the shelves and keeping track of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if they were paid less than what it cost AI to do those tasks. Number 7, and speaking of Indians, this is what mass migration did to Canada's home price to household income ratio. To be fair, millennials were a large generation entering their home buying years in the 2000s, and low interest rates for a few decades also did this, not to mention speculators. Only the last surge around 2016 or 17 can be blamed on that mass migration. Money printing also devalued the Canadian dollar as well, and that's why prices shot up. Moving on, are you like me and blocking the last Indiana Jones movie out of your mind, where his son dies in Vietnam and Phoebe Waller-Bridge was trying to girl boss her way into becoming the new Indiana Jones? The plot of Nazis going back in time to ancient Greece is oddly similar to a G.I. Joe episode where Cobra and the Joes go back in time to ancient Greece called G.I. Joe and the Golden Fleece. Except in Indiana Jones, that's barely explored once they actually get there. Number 9, here's the evolution, or dare I say de-evolution, of liberal men. I remember back in the 90s when being a liberal man meant you had muscles and were open to eating Indian food. Today means you're a sissy open to things going up your poop chutes. Liberalism lost me sometime between 2010 and 2015. It started with things like Slut Walk, Trudeau getting elected, and eventually COVID. That was also around the time when institutions and our society were feminized. Maybe it's really female power that creates weak men. Up next, when Elon Musk visited China recently, he was closely monitored by this Chinese Communist Party agent. Well, if you know she's an agent, then she's not a very good agent. But seriously, was she a potential honeypot? Why in the hell would he need monitoring? It's not like he's gonna steal the fine china. Badoom chick. My suspicions have been confirmed though. The picture on the right is AI generated and not an official uniform. But I still wouldn't be surprised if she was an agent. Number 11, when you live by the scam, you die by the scam. India's currency has lost 50% of its value versus the US dollar since 2009. So saving your hard-earned money in India is a surefire way to lose 10 to 15% of your purchasing power annually when denominated in US dollars. No wonder so many Indians own gold. Inflation is really a hidden tax on those too stupid to see it. When it's 2 to 3% a year, they don't pay attention to it. When it's more, you start finding ways to protect yourself from it. COVID inflation woke me the F up. Moving on, a new study shows that employers are firing Gen Z grads only months after hiring them. I'm not surprised considering that more than half of them show up to their job interviews with their parents. Ronnie thinks that when you pay people minimum wage, you get minimum efforts. And that's BS because back in the 90s, I used to volunteer 2 times a week and was actually free labor. And it was paid in pizza and was competent and happy. Young people just don't care anymore because things are too expensive. Number 13, this woman cares for her husband with a brain injury and finds a new love who also supports him. I guess marriage ain't what it used to be anymore. A woman's gotta get her needs met one way or another. And now stories like this one are normalizing this sort of behavior. Other women will say it's fair because there's no way her brain-damaged husband can fulfill her needs. Sure, but why do you have to broadcast this to the world for attention? That's what I take issue with. Up next, here's the difference between living in a stoner versus alcoholic society. Well, then it's a good thing that today we live in a caffeine-based society. Coffee makes you awake and alert, so no wonder it's being served in most offices for workers, and often for free to boost productivity. It's the equivalent of giving away pizza to your workers for a job well done. If you satisfy people's creature comforts, they'll build your civilization for free food. Number 15, you know you're terrible in bed if a woman just lays there like a starfish expecting you to do all the work. This is her showing you disrespect and laziness. She's a lazy lover and only knows how to take and not give. This is the type of woman that doesn't do BJs very often, if at all, but still expects you to go downtown on her. If she's not eager with her beaver, then it might be time to leave her. It's fitting they lay there like a dead fish because it matches their odor. Moving on, here's Hillary Clinton back in 1994 saying that we could sure use someone like Donald Trump as president. Someone who cannot be bought or changed. Imagine telling her back in 1994 that she would lose to him in a presidential race. She would have laughed you right out of the room. This is back in the days when they both were technically Democrats. She moved further to the left and he stayed exactly where he was. Trump should have used this when he ran against her to show that even she endorsed him. Number 17, the more I hear about this man, the more I think he's based. Matthew McConaughey, when overwhelmed with fame, lived in Peru without electricity for 22 days. He just wants to be humble and like every other ordinary person out there. A while back, Jordan Peterson interviewed him, and he came across as pretty genuine. As for Peterson, he's retired for good and is mentally gone from all the meds he took. I hope it's not karma for attacking MGTOW or anything. Up next, is this relationship okay? If we're to believe the age number, then yes, but that man looks like he's in his mid-40s and she looks like she's 14. Whoever posted this is trying to use this as bait to say that this proves that middle-aged men are PDF files. But seriously, maybe Aristotle was onto something by saying that women should marry at 18 and men should marry at 37. They're both in the prime of their lives. Do you agree with that? Number 19, Victoria wonders if men find Korean girls attractive. Physically, yes, but in other ways, no. The ones I've known had a snarky attitude and would try and boss you around. Another important question to ask is, do men find them attractive with or without fake-up and plastic surgery? I don't. I still prefer the face of Anglo-Saxon women. I've never had the hots for a woman from East Asia or was interested in dating any of them. Moving on, Amy wonders why men avoid educated women who are financially stable. Because they tend to be bossy, demanding, and think that just because they have a degree they can treat you like a second-class citizen. Plus, they're often old, fat, and at the end of their fertility window. Clearly, men don't want that. I don't generally have a problem with educated women with a successful career. I often have a problem with the entitled attitude that comes with it. Number 21, what the hell happened to the American dream? The media is even busy trying to convince everyone that this is somehow evil. Of course they are. They're funded by the wealthy, and the only reason the rich elites gave the masses this quality of life was because of communism. They're terrified of the proletariat rising up against the bourgeoisie. So they bribe them with a Buick and single-family home in the burbs. The threat of communism is now gone, so now all that's going to go away as well. Up next, are you ready for a race swap Betty Boo played by Quinta Brunson in a live-action film? I'm so tired at this point that I don't care anymore. I don't feel outrage, and I'm now totally indifferent. I've learned to just pretend that things like this in the last Indiana Jones and Star Wars films don't even exist. I enjoy the old stuff and block the new stuff out of my mind. Unless, of course, it's something like Andor or Rogue One, which I did enjoy. Number 23 is just the perfect revenge against your ex-girlfriend. This being put his new wife and their wedding photo on an alimony check he sent to his ex-wife. This would only work if the new wife is thinner and more attractive than the old one. Otherwise, all it does is remind her why she's getting the checks in the first place. Once again, this is the level of pettiness I aspire to reach one day. Also, why did this new wife let him do this? Or maybe she doesn't know. Moving on, doctors are warning guys not to do ball maxing, which is a dangerous trend of men injecting surgical lubricants into their testicles to temporarily enlarge them. Maybe men have to start competing with women because we all know how much they love getting their Brazilian butt lifts, boob jobs, and sausage lip injections. It's probably only simps that'll think this will help. If she's already in bed with you looking at your balls, you've already won, my dudes. Number 25 and the last one, why the hell did this happen? Is it the COVID lockdowns or the weight of 9 abortions forcing her to eat emotionally? Who am I kidding though? They won't feel guilt for that. Did they get lazy and just spend all their time doom scrolling? But seriously, I'm not buying this. This doesn't just happen in 6 years. It usually takes a lot longer. Maybe what really happened is that men deceive them into thinking we want thicker ladies. So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Please give this video a like to push it up in the algorithm and so new viewers can find it. If you enjoy this series and want me to keep making it, then donate at the PayPal and Subscribe Star links. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.